Morning all, or afternoon, wherever you are, afternoon here in the UK. It is the 25th of January, and it's a Wednesday. And so I had a short day yesterday. I did come back yesterday. I had a parents' evening at the school. I did return yesterday, and I did a trade, got a couple of points. So we had a green day yesterday, so that's all good. So we got in this morning. I'm a bit early, actually. What time is it? Yeah, a little bit early. I'm just sat here anyway. So morning, yes, trader. How you doing? Nicholas, how you doing? Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone had a good day yesterday. I did want to chat with a few people later. I was looking at Mac's chart, and I noticed there's some discrepancies on his chart that I think sometimes can send the wrong message. I was looking at some of his entries, and they just weren't right. So I just wanted to have a chat, see how you feel about that. Morning, G-Money. How you doing? I still haven't looked at your YouTube channel. Just remind me what it was again, so I can go and have a look. I'm certainly interested in having a look. So just remind me how I get there, and I'll just subscribe to it or mark it or take a quick photo for now. But yeah, I noticed I was looking at Mac's chart, and some of the second entries were third entries. Some of the failures were failing 3 times. So I just think that it's sending the wrong message sometimes. Now, I know I've heard Mac say he only takes an average of about 2 good trades a day. So the frustrating thing is, if he's marking sort of, here's a link, copy paste. Okay, all I can see is the words, here's a link at the moment. There's nothing there, mate. Nothing's popped up. It might have done for you, but for me, it just says, here's the link, copy paste. It doesn't give me no option to do anything. There's nothing at the end of where it says paste, which I think is why nothing happened last time. Morning, Keith. I got my haggis in the fridge. I got my mashed potatoes, and I got some mashed sweet and carrots and my haggis already. I've opened a fresh bottle for tonight. So happy Burns night, or Burns Day, or whatever it is, for anybody with any Scottish sort of background. SW Blaze, morning. Navajo, a lot of times he resets count even though it's not technical. Morning, Brant. I was tempted to be bad and take that crappy doji light lower. What's up here at the moment? Yeah, we had it's a fair old chunking drop this morning. It's typical, isn't it? I've only just come on the chart. What is that? It's a fair old, yeah, it's just a 55-point drop. I thought, actually, if looking at the daily, we've had this sort of downwards trend. We did break it. We had broken it a couple of days ago. Yesterday we had a push down, a push up. We've had a steep drop this morning, so I'm just wondering whether we are going to come back into it. It certainly looks that way. So we may get some down movement today. Still early days at the moment. There is a possible second entry. We can get back up here. There's no news today. Can't post links in the chat. There you go. You might just have to tell me what it is, mate. I don't think you mind if it's a YouTube channel, because it'll probably give you some yeah. So G-Money, you can't post the link. I didn't realise that. So just type what it is if you can, or just send me a message if you don't want to. That's it then. Well, if it's a YouTube channel, the good thing is if you tell me what it is, I'm quite famous here. There's 30 people here watching me. You might get someone coming on to see your YouTube channel. I'll certainly subscribe, but I'm interested. So if you want to let me know what it is, or you're going to keep me guessing, I'll leave it with you. Your channel is drawn tighter off the trend. Yeah. What I'm going to do is, you've probably just gone up to there, haven't you? The trouble is, what I'm trying not to do, you could draw it tighter there, but the thing is, if it's not touching that one, it's touching that one. If it's not touching that, but it's somewhere around there, isn't it? Somewhere around there. I don't know whether you brought the bottom up or whatever. I mean, it might. To be well, I was going to say it could be a spiking channel, but it hasn't there. But we know roughly what's happening. We've got to push down some sideways, push down some sideways, push down. I'm guessing we got some sideways here, and then hopefully down a bit more with an entry for us. But it did work better yesterday. I felt more comfortable yesterday. That I wasn't constantly looking at the chat, because the chat sort of subconsciously does affect you. Because if someone mentions a certain chart or a certain whatever they're doing, it plants a seed in your head. So I got to have quite a clear head. So I blocked it yesterday. I only traded for about an hour yesterday, but I blocked it. When I say blocked it, I'll let you guys chat amongst yourself. I just have on one of my top screen, I have the YouTube stream with the chat, and to the right of it on the same screen, I have two smaller boxes with the daily and the 10,000 tick chart. And I just click on those two, and it covers up the chat. So it does make a difference. So I just cover it up when I'm actually looking, because if people mention trades or charts or certain trends or whatever that they've got, it can affect my bias. So I do block it out. So if you do mention something or ask me a question and I don't answer it, it's not me being ignorant. The trouble is, the more and more people you get on, the more and more people are saying what they can see and all that, and it does tend to cloudy the picture in my head. So I'm not a complete beginner. I've been trading for a couple of years, but I've been trading this system for 18 months, and I think I can read the chart okay. But when you do have lots of comments, it can give you conflicting thoughts. So now there's generally more people on the stream. It can just make your decision process. Once you've read something, you can't sort of unread it, and it can affect you a little bit. But so we got news today. So who else we got in? Morning, Jim. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Jacko. How are you? I won't make any more channel suggestions. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's natural to do it, to say what you're seeing. Everybody's, we all sort of like to think that, we've spotted something, or, we've seen this. But the trouble is, I suppose if you're very inexperienced, I suppose it helps you maybe, if you're struggling and you want some confirmation from other traders, then I suppose it helps in that way. But I'm sort of getting from that beginner stage to more that intermediate stage now, where I can assess the situation enough to make a trade choice. But sometimes when you do adjust things, it can throw you a little bit. So I just literally click my two charts, one above each other, and that just covers up the right-hand side of the YouTube stream and the chat. And then from time to time, I might just click it open and have a read. But it's gone a bit slower at the moment. Just wondering, is that stuck? Oh no, it is moving. It's moving. So, so who else we got in? So, okay. So as you know, I'm back on two evaluations here. One of them is one trade away, and what I've done, I'm using the trade copy, and I'm trading that one as my main, which is just under $200, and that one, which is about $73 off passing. So I've brought that down to just a one contract. So I'm just trading on 50%, and I'll show you just so. Yeah, the number 79, which is the new one, I'm using that as my lead account, and I'm trading 50% on that account, 78, which is just basically one contract. So all I need is literally $100 off that. Will be ample. So that's the story on that. So not here to learn. Should be listening more. Well, we've all got different levels of experiences. I've been trading for 2 years. I've been trading this system religiously for just over a year and a half now. So there's people less experienced than me, and there's people more experienced than me. So We're all sort of at different levels, but I think a lot of it is just to see what another guy's doing. And certainly for the less experienced people, you in the early days, you start doubting whether you're doing anything wrong, or you're doing something wrong. And it's nice to sort of see what someone else's thoughts are, and it helps sort of confirm that you're doing things right. You know what I mean? So it can be useful for the less experienced ones. So yeah, we've all got different. My first 2 evals are at 52.7. Excellent. So what are you trading, buddy? Are you trading 1 contract or 2? If you're trading 2, you're like 2.5 points. I suppose what you want to do, depending on how many days you get, is get sort of like maybe $10 over it or something like that. And then if you've got any remaining days, you can just trade them on just on a micro. You can just, if anybody doesn't know that, if you get over your $3,000 and you've got a couple of trading days left, you can just literally switch that over to MES and just change and just trade 1 tick. That's all you need to do. Just trade 1 contract, 1 tick on the MES, 1 ES. Go for 1 ES. Okay, so you're just sort of $250, and then if you do happen to go over, you can just put it onto the micros. So yeah, you're not far away. So yeah, I think it's just a combination. I think that's made me a little bit rocky. I'm paying too much attention to the chat and not enough focus on what I'm doing. And if people are mentioning stuff, and I'm adjusting things, and I'm getting a mixed picture. So while the stream was sort of at 15 to 30 for the first 2.5 weeks, or 18 days, I had 18 solid green days, and everything went smoothly. And then I've been paying less attention to my chart, more attention on the chat, and I've been constantly adjusting things to suit. And it's just look at this. It's just it's knackered my focus really. So I just need to focus more on what I'm doing, pay more attention to what I'm doing, and less attention on the chat. But you have got the option to block chat. But I kind of like the fact that you guys might want to chit chat amongst yourself. And if you've got any newer guys, I kind of liked going on to chat so I can ask questions. So, if there's any newer traders or less experienced people, it's kind of nice that you've still have the option. So I didn't want to block the chat. I still want it for you guys, but with 2 clicks, and I've covered the section of the chat anyway. So it's fine for me. I can sort myself out. But I wanted to. We've got 5 minutes. I just wanted to quickly show you just some discrepancies I'm seeing on Mac's chart, and I think it's sending mixed signals to some people, because I'm thinking if people are watching this, they're going to be thinking, oh, I can constantly adjust the where is he? Let me have a look. That's trading. Okay. 14 hours ago. Let's have a look at this. Okay, let me just pause this. I'm just going to quickly drag this in, okay? So just have a quick look at this. This is Mac's chart from yesterday. Things like this, trades like this. He calls that a second entry. He call that a second entry, and it's a bit odd, isn't it? An odd place, but this one particularly. Okay, so whether we've had a break, we seem to have had a break on this channel, and it's a bit of a messy channel. I don't know, but that one, it's not a second entry because that candle is higher than that, so it's not a second entry. And we got first entry, second entry, third. It's not a second entry, and it's not a failure, and it's quite a distance from the EMA. So and it is a bit sideways. So I think that's a slightly riskier trade. Now, he did tell me that he only takes about 2 trades a day, but he shows a lot more. And I wish he'd maybe show less, or at least tell us what trades he took, because a lot of traders are going to see that and think, okay, well, it's not a second entry because of this, but I can adjust it or adapt it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this one here, so we've had this break here. We got a new high. Try to go once, try to go twice, try to go 3 times. It's not a failure, a technical failure. Do you know what I mean? And things like this as well. That's the same. So that's not technically a second entry, and it's still sideways. So I just find some of his some of his trades conflicting. You know what I mean? For instance, I mean, you've got the triple test here, but things like that as well. First entry, that's a failure. It wasn't that one. I think it was it this one? I don't know. It's a little bit choppy, but and this one we've had a break, and that is he calls that. Let me just block that. He calls that a lower high. Well, it's not a lower high. We've pushed up. We've had a break, new high. It's not a lower high. The top is exactly the same as that top. So that tells me that you can break the rules by the odd tick. That's what I don't kind of get. So you could call it a lower high, but it ticks exactly the same as that. So it's actually not a lower high. So it's easy to look at the chart at the end of the day and go, okay, we'll call that a lower high because it obviously meant, you know what I mean? It's very easy to mark the trade. So there's a lot of discrepancies here, and I think it can give people the wrong impression. And people think, oh, I can take that one, even though it's not technically a lot of high, and that's a bit far. Although you triple test, yeah, I get that one. But you know, there are a lot of trades, and I wish he would say which trades he actually took, or put a little circle around the trades he actually took, so you can see, you know, maybe that one he took, or you know what I mean. I wish he'd do that. Give people, you know, show people what he actually took, because that would, I've got to mess my chart up now. Oh, freaking Fridays. Get rid of that now. Hold on a minute. Yeah, do you see what I'm getting at, though? I wish he'd, I noticed there was quite a few on there, and they're not actually by the count. And it gives you the impression that, all right, okay, if it's a third entry, you can take it as well. You know what I mean? So I wish he'd either slow down the amount of trades he puts on the chart after, because if he only takes two, why is he putting a lot more on there, and some of them are questionable, because it can send the wrong message. And I'm thinking, well, can I bend the rules a bit? All right, if it's not a failure, maybe it's 3 entries, can I take that? Or if it's not a second entry, can I bend the rules a bit? You know what I mean? Okay, so that one, if that goes back here, first entry, second, if it turns into a third entry, can I take it because it's back here? So it can give, so let's see what you guys think. You can do a lot just with candles they make. So you had a red arrow in the wrong place. There was a lower high next to the move. One back 2 years and 5 years ago. Yeah, I haven't seen a live trade for a while. If you see the whole video, he mentioned that he didn't know what red arrows. I don't know. But I've noticed there's a few lately which do bend the rules. And I wish he would mark the trades he took, because that would help traders, especially newer traders. Do you know what I'm saying? Look at the areas and go, oh yeah, okay, that's what a great trade looks like that. And if Matt took that trade, I wish he'd do that, because it's easy to look after a chart after the fact and go, okay, there's that one, there's that one, there's that one, because we know what made it. You with me? So hindsight trading is the best. Yeah, it is easy with hindsight, but when it happens, it's not that easy. So I wish in fact, I might mention him and ask him if he'll just maybe mention the trades he took, because I don't think it should be a secret. You know, if he took the trades and he's, you know, a 25-year veteran who sort of came up with this course, it'd be nice to know which trades he took, because at least then you would have a solid picture of, okay, he left that one, but he took that one. Yeah, I see why. You understand what I mean? I think that'd be really useful. It would be useful to see what he actually takes. Yeah, word. I can't see why he doesn't mention it, or why it's, you know, there's a reason why he wouldn't mention it. You know, it's, so I might mention him and ask him actually, and I'll just say sometimes, you know, when you're putting a lot of trades, people think, oh yeah, I can take 6 or 8 trades, Mac does. When I think it can give you the sort of wrong impression, you know. But anyway, so morning everyone, or afternoon, wherever you are. David, good afternoon, David. He says, when he says, I like that trade, means he took it. Well, he does that. I've seen him do that for 5 or 6 trades, but does it mean that? Because he told me he takes between 1 and 3 trades a day maximum, an average of 2 trades a day. So I just wish it'd be clear. So anyway, okay. So market's open now. So I'm going to block off. You guys chat amongst yourselves. I'm going to block off just going to click my two charts, and it just covers the comments, so it doesn't affect my bias. Okay, so you're all blocked now, so talk amongst yourselves. Be kind to me. Okay, so we certainly got this strong downward movement anyway, so we seem to be working in this area at the moment. ATR's up a little bit, so yeah, it was down about a point yesterday, so we know it's down anyway, so what I'm going to do is do this and move that out of the way. That's the only downside, really. It's nice to see the chart. I used to have a spare chart, which I ended up punching, a screen, which I ended up losing my temper with, and that went out the window. So I used to have a blown up picture of this, but we know what's happening. We know it's strong down, and it's following this, but it's just trying to find an entry, isn't it? Look at that, all choppy there. You get a big bearish bar, just touching there and down it goes. But the trouble is, you just can't take that. There's no obvious setups there. Yeah, it's a little bit choppy here, isn't it? If I was going to pick one here, it would probably be maybe that one, but it's still not a confident setup, really. It's a lower high. Nothing here. Everything starts to fall away. And I have noticed that we obviously started back here. We're getting further away from here, and we're getting further away still and further away still, which tells me that it is losing momentum a little bit. Or maybe we're coming down at a less steeper angle, and we may have a break. So we can end up getting a real strong move today. Let's see if we get a break here. It's touching here. It's touch away from there. It's sort of touching. So that's, I think that downtrend is about as close as I could probably get to that. So we do seem to be having a break. So I'm just going to zoom out a minute. Now I'm just going to get an order ready just in case something does materialize. Okay. I'm checking it's all accepted there. I've got that on positions. There's my amounts and my total profit and loss. So, okay. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, we've had a break out of this channel by the looks of things. Now, if I have a quick look at the 10,000 tick chart, it is quite a way away from the EMA, so we'll see. See what happens. Okay, there is a big bearish bar there, but I just think that's, well, actually it is a second entry because that broke down lower than that, but I just don't know. It's just I think I'd like to take the lower high here. That candle did break, so it is a second entry. We've had a break in a new high, so it is a second entry. It's just something about that didn't quite look right. Let's see if we can get a lower high. If we can get a lower high, then I'm happy to take that. Okay, bust it straight through. Stop. Let's get that back up. Facts. Oh, you tosspot. Okay, something's ringing alarm bells there. Okay, I'm quite glad that happened. See, there it is. That is a second entry, and it is a lower high, although it's a little bit further away. Just the fact that it's been getting further and further away. I'm glad I missed that. It's been getting further and further away. So I would have given that an extra tick, so I'd have been safe at the moment, but it's not looking good. Okay, that would have knocked me out of the game. Right. Sometimes when it doesn't pick up, it helps. But that is a second entry. That is a lower high, although it's quite far away from the EMA. Maybe we're going to get 2 pushes and we'll get up. We'll see. I think what's happening is we're going a little bit sideways. We seem to be doing that, pushing down a little bit of sideways, pushing down a little bit of sideways. Get a break and a bit of sideways. Let's see if we can get a decent setup as it starts to hopefully push down. We've got this new high trying to go once. Let's see if we can push down here with a failure maybe. Yeah, so far that's what we've done. We've come down, sideways come down, sideways come down. We've had a break and sideways. I can't see. Okay. To be fair, I'm quite glad that didn't tape because that is a little bit further away, although there's a big bearish bar there. I bet some traders took that and they're still safe at the moment, but they're not now. See if we get 2 legs up here. Okay, there's the 2 legs. Yeah, the bit that sort of made me a little bit wary about that is we are so far away from the EMA on the 10,000 tick chart. So I expected a little bit of movement towards it. Okay, we've had two pushes up there on leg 2 leg. If we can come down below the EMA, I'll take a lower high. In fact, there's a bit of sideways. I'm tempted to short that into the range, but at the moment, yeah, I'm just sitting tight at the moment. It's just getting a bit. So we've got some sideways here. It's fade to breakout, so that might fade to breakout, but it's getting awful close. So there's our new high. We've had 2 pushes up. Both the body is broken, has closed right at the top of that second leg. So if we can get a lower high, then I expect it to come down maybe at a less sort of steeper angle. Let's see what happens. Still wouldn't be happy in that. Almost seems like there's a slightly bigger range there. Okay, you'd have been safe if you'd have faded that breakout. You'd still be safe at the moment, but I wouldn't be confident in that lot. I'll be thinking about getting out of that ASAP. Yeah, if you'd have taken that one, faded, depending on what you'd have took, you may have got 2 points out of that. Let's see what's going on here. I'm going to close this down a minute. Right, let's find out where else this may go. There is some support here which could hold this down. We'll see. Oh dear. Yeah, it is. It's definitely losing momentum, isn't it? It came to the back. It's coming closer and closer. It's coming further and further away from this back line, isn't it? Started here, touch here, close enough here, almost touching here, but it is slowly further coming away, isn't it? So maybe we'll get a bit of a correction and possibly another move down. We have come closer now to the 10,000 tick chart. Came about the same distance, so maybe this is where it starts to move down. Let's see what happens. Let's tidy this up. Okay, so there is a bit of a channel up here. We've had a break of it. Let's see if see, for me at the moment, I can't even think about long at the moment. Everything's downwards at the moment. This is just a break or a correction. It's a possible failure if it comes down here, but price is being held by the EMA at the moment, which is still putting up, so could still make a new high yet. But there's some strong. Okay, that is a failure that's just broken, although I just couldn't take that. Gotta say, it's been very choppy lately and unpredictable at times. It's definitely been harder to trade lately. There was a failure there, but I wouldn't be thinking about going short just at the moment because EMA's now flat. It was holding prices. But there may be some that took that, or indeed that. Just wondering if there's anybody going long there for a new high. See if this ticks below here. But it is just choppy at the moment. See if this bearish bar ticks below here. So we got a new high. Try to go once, try to go twice, try 3 times. See if that breaks below there. Okay, I'd say this is giving me the indications now. Things are moving back down again. There have possibly been some longs there. Moving higher, but not many, by the way. That's only just ticked below. way too choppy to trade. There's nothing really there anyway, apart from the lower high, but we're in this uptrend at the moment of some sorts. We sort of had one push up, pull back, push up, pull back, break. Try to go once, try to go twice. Does seem to me like it's moving down now, but it's just too risky to trade any of this at the moment. It's sideways, congested. I think probably the shorts will win over. Could have sworn there was some news today. It must be tomorrow. I think there's some big news tomorrow, I think. Okay. Things seem to be moving in the direction I expected. We'll try and make a little low here. Whether we continue down, it's quite strong at the moment, so we may do. That's my target there. See what happens. There has a bit of a break out the bottom. Let's see if that pushes back in first. It's not really even a second entry, is it? A second, third. Couldn't even say that was a second entry long, but just trying to think, is there going to be some shorts trapped here? Possibly some shorts there, possibly some shorts there. I mean, this could just shoot right up through these. It could do, but it is sort of losing momentum a bit. But I think we're likely to make a new low. Maybe some longs there. Thinking we've maybe had a break further, hit a bottom. I think if we get below here, then we'll push below here quite strongly then. I think here's our target for sure. My first bubble. Yeah, I think sort of coming down here, I think. New low. Whether we carry on down, it's hard to say at the moment. I think it's likely. We've had such a strong move. We seem to be pushing back in. Mind you, I noticed Mac did mention that we could do some sideways stuff because we've pushed out of here and closed out of here. That's pushed down, pushed back up and closed. We have a steep pull back into it, so we could do some sideways stuff, so it could be choppier still. Not a fan of this downwards choppy stuff. All these highs are lower and lower. So there's no new count. See if this pushes us up into this stuff here. I don't think it will. I think we're already out now. That is ticked higher as well. So I think if you drop below here, I think we'll probably come down to here next. I like to try and predict what's happening because it just helps me sort of understand what the picture's telling me. Obviously, I'll trade what I see, not sort of what I think the trades will be, the setups I see. But it's nice to sort of work out what the market's doing, because what we're really studying here is human behaviour. And as this is coming down, I'd be thinking long's not on my mind, short is. But you are going to get people who try and pick bottoms and try for a big push up. But this is telling me now we've had this big strong downtrend. We've had a push out. It hasn't really gone anywhere, and it's now slowly coming down one eye at a time. If we can get below here, then maybe I can't see anywhere where any other shorts will be in there apart from there, and possibly there, and possibly here. So I think if we get down another couple of, certainly below that one, I think we'll come straight down here then. And then touch, oh yeah, okay, so there's nothing else there that's going to stop that apart from that one, but we'll come straight through that, I think. There we go. That's the only place there'd have been some longs. That's why we had that quick little point and a half, 2 points straight down quickly. As this is, see, I was looking at this thinking we're going to have a break at any time, because obviously we're right at the back of this channel. Now we're a little bit further away. Now we're further away some more, and it's starting to curl a little bit, and now we're further away. So I did mention we were likely to get a break, and we did. It's just not enough buyers there. And once we started doing this, just thinking it was a matter of time, so we may get a second leg down here. It's quite steep, so it's going to have to pull back a little bit and create something a bit wider. Whether we have something like this, possibly something like that, maybe. It's hard to say, but it's certainly. I'll take that off at the moment. I like to sort of see this separate channel first. Let me just tone this colour down a bit. We're retesting this, I think. So we've come down really steeply, haven't we? And then it's feathered off, so I can't see us how we're going to be coming down that steep. I can see us coming up to here and having... let's just take that colour out there a minute. Okay, I mean, it could come down to sort of here, or it's definitely, in fact, let me just put that to the top of there and bring that down to the top of that red candle there. There we go. Let's see if that may materialise, if we can come back here somewhere. We're certainly moving down now anyway. Like 2 legs, this sort of little bit of sideways, and as we've sort of dropped, there's 1, 2 legs down. So I expect to move over this way a little bit now. It's coming down so strong, isn't it? Let's put that to there, to that line there. Okay, so we've clearly sort of got these 2 little legs, haven't we? Certainly kind of prefer it goes in one direction. Yeah, it may end up doing something like that. Actually, that fits really nice, doesn't it? Just going to remove this for the minute. That fits really nice, that does. Fits lovely along this back. Pushes over to the top. Fits nicely along the top. There's obviously smaller trends within that. Probably the first one I had, but I kind of like that. Sharply down, and then we've stayed sort of, let me just get the midline on this. We've sort of stayed mainly towards the middle line, and then we've had this push right to the top. And then we've ridden the top of this and then come down. So let's see what happens here. See, now we've had this strong bit down the bottom section of this, below the midline. We seem to be above the midline now, so maybe we'll ride this top part of it. Let's get back in a bit. Let's take some of the colour out of this. In fact, let's change that to a slightly lighter colour. Nice pretty pink. Oh, let's go for an orange. Oh, isn't that pretty? That look lovely. Darken this a bit. Something a bit more manly. There we go. Let's clean this up. Okay, so we've had a break of this shorter channel here. Very bearish, isn't it? Very bearish. Yeah, that's where I mentioned about that 10,000 tick chart. We come close enough, I think. And we did, and that bearish bar there just took us down. So that's what I sort of thought might happen. It's nice to be able to try and read the markets, isn't it? Because it gives you an indication. Then it sort of slowly builds up your confidence about, you know, how these things work out. So we've had this shorter term trend channel, 2 pushes down within here. We've had a break of it and a new low. Let's see if we're going to work to the top of this bigger one, or indeed to the overall one, which we're seeing at the moment. See what happens. So there's our new low anyway. I suppose it depends how strong it is. It just could keep coming down, but there's definitely some sideways here. So if we can push up a bit. Trouble is, if we keep going down, we never get any. If it never comes back to the EMA, then we never get any decent setups. But it's moving nice and quickly now, so we seem to be moving in now in this top part of the. So let's get an order ready, because if we can get a good setup, write it down. But there's no real entry there at the moment. See what happens here. Each one of those is a new high. There's our new high there, actually. So trouble is, it's giving us no bloody setups. I prefer it to come back a bit, but it's not going to, is it? It's so frustrating, that, isn't it? That's the trouble with these days sometimes. I much prefer to trade a trending day, but sometimes, some days you'll get like 1, 2, 3 setups. You'll get, like a lower high. You'll get a second. You'll get 2 or 3 setups in a small area. Great when you have days like that. But then other times you'll see this massive move down. There's just nothing. I mean, you got this lower high, but you're above the EMA there. And we've had such this downtrend, and then it just goes choppy as hell and nothing really, apart from that's the sort of N1 when it sorts to drop, but you just got nothing, have you? And now we'll come back. As soon as we get up here, close to it, poof, down it goes again. No setups again. It's so frustrating. And it's probably likely going to continue down. So annoying. Let me just adjust that a bit till it touches there. Okay, touches there. Body close there. If we can get... It's just too far away. I can't see us getting a push up there enough to get another entry. Okay, so if we can get push back up here, that's a first entry. We can get somewhere up here. But I just don't think, I think it's just too bearish. Whenever it gets close, it just drops. Trouble is, when it's that strong down here, the else thinking about buying. Not many people, are they? That's the trouble. That's why. If we can just get up here a little bit, push above, not as high as here, and then come down bearish. I'll take that then, because usually it'll go sideways until it gets really nicely on that EMA, and then it'll drop. So there's a first entry. So that's one push up. Close here, and then have another little push up. It's just too far away, that is. Come on, get up there, you bastard. Push up. Okay, I like that push up. Okay, so first entry. So if we can get something a little bit further up here. Come on, baby. Push up. Okay, if we can get that to turn bearish, or the next one, without getting higher than this, I like that. That I don't like. One push up, 2 pushes up. But it has. We're going to break out of this sideways, came back in, break out this sideways, came back in, but I'm just not confident enough just to take something that's the same height as that. I prefer it to tick higher, preferably not as high as this. But this is a breakout of this bigger channel, so let's see what happens. Could be that. That might be a little bit higher. Okay. Right. Just think it's going to be one of these days. See, as much as I want it to come down into here, I don't like what it's doing. There is a couple of pushes up. There is some a bit of resistance around here somewhere. A little bit here, a little bit here. One leg up, 2 legs up. I don't know how confident I am bringing this down here, to be fair. It is some sideways movement. You call that a break of a channel, but just going to get rid of that for a minute. Sometimes when it does this, so we have a strong push up sideways, we have something else like that. The same sort of thing. Let's get rid of that for a minute. Yeah, sometimes when we do this, we'll do that. Which will take us up to here. I'm not saying it's going to, but a lot of the times when it does that, it has another strong push up. Trouble is, for me, it's just bearish at the moment. I can't see anything else bar bearish. We've had a break of this and a new high. That's a lower high, but I just don't know. It's just too risky and choppy at the moment, isn't it? We have had a break and a new high there of that channel. But we're just not moving back as quick as I thought we might do. Because at the moment, it's just bearish for me. I don't even think about taking longs at the moment. And we're right back at the EMA on the 10,000 tick chart. It's gone a little bit flat here. So we could come down or we could push up. It's hard to say at the moment. That's a second entry long, which is triggered. I just can't bring myself to being long. I think if there's if that's a failure there. I think if you put an order there, it may. Oh, am I tempted to do it? No. Let's have a look. Let's give it a go. Okay. See if I get shafted. Close below there. It's a failure. We've had a new high. Probably going to stop me out. Oh, well. Okay. I thought actually new high. Try to go one strike size failure. Broke below the EMA. I thought if it triggers below here, sometimes they'll just. But no, okay. All right. Get back to being a bit careful again. It's all right. I've got to get myself focused on taking proper, decent setups. That's a riskier one. Although we had a break, new high. Try to go once. Try to go twice. Possible failure. Triggered, but it's just. It is still a bit. Although I am thinking bearish. I thought that might be the way down, but. Oh. Should have left that. Just can't think bullish at the moment, to be honest with you. Everything I'm seeing is down. A little bit of correction down, maybe a correction down. I did look at that, but there's no real setup, is there? Typical, isn't it? Might have tick it when I tick more and then came down where I thought it was going to. Oh, that's annoying. Wonder if we're going to have a separate channel coming down at another angle. Often the case. I did consider taking that one, but the trouble is, you got a new high, try to go once, try to go twice, try three. It's like 3 times, isn't it? The trouble is, it's sideways and choppy. Just, I'm not 100% sure where that's going at the moment, although I'm likely to think it's coming bearish. But as we come out there, I wouldn't be surprised if we came down, tick below it, at a bearish bar, pushing back into the range. That's frustrating. It is frustrating when you're a tick away from coming in the right direction, but well. I just thought that's a second entry long. There may be some longs in there being at the bottom of this as we've come back into this sort of bit of sideways stuff. I thought that may work, but it triggered. Well. So not looking bearish at the moment, is it? Got to say, lately it's been hard to read the market, as I got to say. Just put that one back up to where it was. 78's the copied one, isn't it? Is that 79? Yeah. Under like that. That fits quite well, actually. It fits quite nice at the bottom. Could be a bit of an overshoot there, actually. Fits nice there, fits nice there, fits nice there. It's overshoot, but it's nothing major, isn't it? Let's see. It's frustrating when there's just no setups. Can't say. It's just so hard to read at the moment. Strong push down, sort of less. This sort of seems right to me. It's fitting relatively nice. A little bit of an overshoot here and here. But it started here. It's sort of fitting in that sort of way, isn't it? But it's not the cleanest of charts, but Just nothing in the way of a setup, is there? You could call that hidden second entry short. Push up, a little bit sideways, push up. I am expecting it to come down to here. Let's see how this finishes. probably going to be some longs trapped there. So if we can get below here, I'd say we should get a decent push. I'm just going to bring it down here. So we can follow it down. Push up, a little bit of red, push up again. Bearish bar, finish below the EMA. I'm expecting 2 legs down. I don't know. Maybe this will be a second entry. See what happens. See if this comes bearish. This will be a second entry short. If this does come bearish, I think I'm interested in taking that. Let's just get it ready. See what happens. I'm going to give that 1 extra tick. I save my bacon sometimes. I think we need to get below here. I don't know what's going on with my trading lately. I really don't. I seem to have lost something. Okay, that's a second entry short. Okay, I'm going to take this one. I know it's stupid risky, but I am expecting a good push down. This is the last trade of the day, regardless. 2 pushes up, really bearish. Right, okay. I'm just clearly not in the right frame of mind. It's clearly going sideways here. All right, guys, I need to regroup. I'm just getting silly here. I'm getting silly here. I think that's it for the day. I'm going to have to go away and try and clear me head a little bit. I'm clearly just not doing something right. I don't know. I was expecting 2 push down, but it's clearly going sideways at the moment. So that's it for today, guys. I apologise that. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's just I'm not in the right frame of mind. I think losing that account is just messed me a little bit. So let's come back tomorrow, see how we get on. Okay, so have a great Burns evening, any of you guys out there with Scottish descendants, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.